Hello! Welcome back to round 5 of FVC2 Season 4. We're here in Brazil, hopefully trying to break a curse. It's already not gone well, we're 9 minutes behind schedule. But we are at least here for a qualifying session. No idea what the forecast is, haven't heard any whispers of rain, so that's probably a good thing. That's the Cup cars going up. There's a Haas there. There's an Aston, I think Ferrari also. Cara pulls out for a debut. Oh, this is interesting. I have vibrations from the cars I'm spectating. That's a new glitch. Fantastic. I'm trying to work out who is leading us. It's an AlphaTauri. It's Dorado, finally taking his place back as the first car out the pit lane every week. There's an Apex, an Alexi, I want to say that is. Yep. Aston Martin of Sass. McLaren behind would be Harrison. Then the Alpine, no, that's a Williams of Unco, and Mercedes would be Cara. Cara on her debut here with the FVC. Let's get on board with Dorado and see what the first update is going to be. Rain light is blinking. I think that means charging qualifying, I'm not actually sure. I was going to say rain, but given it's just turned off, probably charging. Yeah. That's so weird, I'm getting the vibrations from Dorado's car. Either way, it looks like a clean first couple of sectors. It's a dry-wet qualifying, I've been told. This could be interesting. And the championship leader is not here yet. My controller is still vibrating. Yellow flags out for an Aston Martin. That's Sass, who's immediately gone out of the session. Not looking good, but it's the run up to the line now for Dorado as the rain has started to fall. All of these drivers going to need to get a lap in quickly. Dorado in the best place with a 109.8. Next car will be the Apex Miata and the Alfa Romeo. 109.0, 8 tenths faster. Alpine of, I want to say that's Rosenquist will be next. No, that was Alexi next, 110.0. McLaren of Harrison will be next, 110.2. Is the track already slowing down? Mercedes of Cara will go next, 111.9. There's not a lot of evidence to say that this track is getting any quicker. Pixel's right off the track. Come through to start lap. Rebel of Psycho jumps 5th, 110.4. Other AlphaTauri of Carly comes through to start lap. It's all at the wrong time as this rain is already falling. Weepy will be the next car to finish a flying lap. So let's see what happens here. Off into the gravel. I'm not sure if there was some understeer from the rain there or just a simple mistake. Purple to the second sector though. We'll have to try and get that car to the line as quickly as possible. Run to the line makes it a 112.6. I think we're already past the window of improvement here in Brazil. Apex into the pit lane. This might be a quiet session. Pixel's coming through to finish a lap as well. Using all of the space available. Unco in the pit lane is going to struggle to get a time in here. Run to the line for FV Pixels. It will be a 1:13.5. Goes 8th ahead of Rosenquist with a 13.6. Carly runs to line. 111.4. Carly jumps 6th. Track is not where it needs to be. On the outlap with just Unco, who, let's be real, will probably be the last car to come in. It is quite a wet track already. Bayless wants an invite. We will try and get that sent across, but I don't know if I have valid. I can do it through Xbox, hang on. We'll do it the quick way. There we go. Yellow flags out in the second sector from Aston Martin. Must have been Pixels. Harrison retires in the garage. Come on, chat. Reconnect. There you go. Yellow flags again. Pixels may be struggling in these wet conditions now. Unku stays out to start their lap. Pixels wide, struggling in the rain. I assume that car will be coming to the pit lane this lap. Being out on track has played my part. It has. Congratulations on the P2. Alexei out on intermediates, maybe trying to get some wet running in. Pixels does tuck it into the pit lane. Almost hits the pit wall, that looked like. Didn't look very in control there, but we will see as Unku comes through. Just finishing the first sector of their lap. Rosenquist doing that lap without front wing, and look at that track. It is a very wet track. Lots of puddles starting to form. It is past the opportunity for Unku to get a good lap in on slicks. Still going for it though. Maybe trying to get ahead of Rosenquist or Pixels. A couple of drivers with the inters ready to go out again, but there isn't much point. Run to the line now for Unku. Let's see what we're looking at here. Trying to get the third sector time to come up, but I can't. It is a 1:15.5, jumps to 11th ahead of Sass. The track is not in a good place. Being told Rosenquist lost their pit entry, lost their wing on the pit exit. Very unfortunate for their lap. DRS has been disabled. It is officially time for the Inter as a couple drivers peel out onto the track. Maybe just looking to build experience. Rosenquist retires in the pit lane. The vibrations are so weird to get as Apex goes very sideways. And I can tell you from the feeling of that car, the traction is not there. Needs to tighten up the differential on that. He's getting all kinds of sideways up at the corners. Alexi and Unku out on track together. Unku just taking the car around on those softs, trying to get it home in a safe manner. Yeah. Did Apex just go faster? No, I don't think he did. No, he hasn't. I'm just... Yes. I guess at this point, you're just running for the experience. Bayless will have to come in this lap, maybe trying to beat Unku's time. But this track is only going to be getting wetter. Rosenquist saying time for our tyres. Good plan, I think. There's a little bit of space in the sky. Now it sounds like Unku and Sass might have come together explaining her DNF from this session. Bayless finally joins the session. Pixels on that lap on the Inters. Be interesting to see what time Apex is able to put in. 6 seconds down on his best. That's a swapper. I think that is intentional, but it does not look fun either way. Runs off there. Lexi also comes into the pit lane. Bayless finally gets into the lobby, but will have to come out and set a time. Is going to struggle though. Maybe looking at starting from 12th. Not good for his title hopes. Could wrap it up tonight. That's the AlphaTauri of Dorado off to the left. Pixels goes wide. Are these two racing each other? Dorado lets Pixels come back on in front of him. Someone have a spin. Pixels maybe trying to close up to Apex there. Apex just doing some drifting, spins the car. Not hugely ideal for tyre life, but it's not like you're going to go any quicker in these conditions anymore. Yellow flags are out. I believe that's for Apex getting back on the track. Both cars with a little bit of a swapper on there. Now, what are these two up to? That is my next question. Apex brings it into the pit lane. Pixels does stay out. Let's see what lap time he can post. It's always deceptive into that first corner. Pixels gets a very big whack of oversteer. Gathers it back up nicely though. Pixels and Dorado, the only two cars out on track at the moment, but let's see what time Dorado is able to post. Keeping an eye to see what Bayliss does here as well. May struggle to get in front of his teammate. But we'll need to get out soon. At least if he's going to try, he will need to. Whispers of a wet race emerging out of the Alfa Romeo camp. Now, just about now is when Apex would be crossing the line, so track has clearly slowed down a lot with this rain. Now, it's not exactly surprising. It is slightly harder to drive a car through water. 1:17.6 there from Dorado. Pixels will come through to the line with a 1:20.8. Bayliss still in the pit lane, not looking to get out and get any experience. Same case for a lot of these drivers here. So a couple of cars out now. Unku, one of them. There's a Haas out as well. That's probably Alexei. Couple of cars out on track now. People clearly getting a little bit bored, just looking to gather up the experience. Apex out on the soft. That is one way to do it. Let's pivot back to chat. Apex has seen a dry line, trying to make the most of it, but I'm not sure much is going to come of it. Alexei will come through to conclude an outlap. Bayliss has fitted the internal, so we might see a run late in the session. 1:10.0 from Alexei on the outlap. Oh no, that's the previous fastest. Never mind, it's not. Blame F1. There you go. Pixel still circulating. Maybe just looking to build experience. Did go quicker though on the intermediate with a 13.5. It's very sideways now though. Carly just left the pit lane on softs. That is going to be very icy. And Bayliss, Pixels is sideways, sorry, but Bayliss The one that we have been waiting for is finally out on track. Let's see what time he can post. It's going to have to be good. I mean, it's going to need to try and get up to at least 9th, I would say. Bayliss through to start the lap now. Let's see what happens as Apex is off into the wall at turn 3 there. Turn 4 even, sorry. Might have been a straight lockup, might have been a spin involved, we're not sure. But Bayliss will be the next car on the scene. We'll see if we can make anything out, but I doubt we will be able to. As there's nothing there. Bayliss locks up. That might have been the inside left, inside front even. Unsure. But let's see what time he can post. It's going to have to be a good one if he wants to try and get up ahead of his teammate. FE Pixel's probably the highest car that he could beat in this session. Though we will have to see what he pulls out of the bag. Track will be in the worst state it's been in all night. But let's have a look. Pixels brings out the yellow flags again and is backwards once more in Sector 2. Let's see what Bayliss can get done. No one is quite sure what the race forecast will be. Some saying dry, some saying wet. We will find out. Run to the line now for RL Bayliss. Needs to be a 1:15.5 to get ahead of his teammate. Will not be able to though. Goes 12th with a 1:18.1. We'll see if he tries to improve on that time. Loses the race slightly. Curly retires. I believe that's in the pit lane. Unku and Alexei almost on top of each other. Thank you for the very helpful camera there, Codemasters. Bayliss, a 10th.5 down through the first sector. Track. It seems to only be getting slow, but we will see if he can pull anything out of the bag here. We have seen Pixels improve, so it depends whether or not Bayliss will be able to. He'll get one more go at the lap after this. Assuming he can get that without making a mistake. FV Pixels runs into problems at the first sector as we see him inside of an advertising board. Not the most ideal way to do things. Bayliss, 36 milliseconds down his previous lap. We'll have to see if he can gather anything up through this third sector. 10 seconds to get to the line if he wants another crack. He should make it, but it's going to be close. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bayliss is the first car to finish. Finishes on 2/10 down on his fastest lap. Pixels is backwards. There's another car backwards up there as well. I think it's Unku. Unku has been backwards at least within the last 10 seconds. Unku retiring on track. Last car running is Pixels of this session. It's a very unfortunate for Bayliss, starting from 12th after a rain-soaked qualifying, missed his chance. Bayliss coming out with a Bayliss saying that he forgot to do a lap with the RS. That will have hurt his time as Pixels running into yet more issues. Through the Lenovo board, they won't be very happy with that. Oh, he's gone again. It's a disappointing show from the Aston Martin. Has to just try and gather it up, get it back to the line. It's a relatively straight shot now if he can fish it out of the grass. We'll have to wait for Apex's Alfa Romeo to go by. And lights up the rear, trying to get it going, loses the rear once again. Goes through yet another advertising board. It's all kinds of wobbly, but it will be a run to the line. And that will tie off qualifying here in Brazil. So, it is Apex who comes out on top for Alfa Romeo here in Brazil. Followed by, well, we'll have Dorado starting alongside him, followed by Alexi, Harrison, Psycho, Carly, Kara, Weepier, Pixels, and Rosenquist tie for your top 10. With Unku in 11th, Bayless in 12th, and Sass 13th after she was unable to sell a lap. Join us shortly for the main event here in Brazil. So we are on the grid at least. And we are underway for a formation lap. So there's Apex who heads up this field. Let's just bring up tire data so we can have a look at that. Only the top two opting for soft. Apex Dorado at the head of this field. Row 2 is Alexi Harrison. Row 3, Psycho Curly. Row number 4 will be Kara and Weepier. Kara on her debut here in the FVC. Row 5 goes to Pixels and Rosenquist. Row 6 is both the Williams for Uncle and Bayless. The former will be doing a PC restart, I think, to get this get the controller working. With Sass standing 13th, the only car unable to take the lap in the session. What is going on with Bayless there? Bayless also clearly not into the free advertising here at the track. So, what are the predictions ahead of this session? I'm thinking Apex Dorado may be on the optimum strategy here. Rain in 10 to 15 minutes, so I've been told. That makes a lot more sense. So, it looks like Apex and Dorado both banking on that rain coming early, the rest of the field banking on it coming slightly later. Unku gets back in the lobby just in time. Final cars now coming into their grid slots. Let's have a look on what we can see. Dorado banking on no rain. Sass gets disqualified from parking. Seems to have been the only car to do so. 5 lights are on here in Brazil. And we are away for the 5th round of the 4th season. Let's hope the Brazil car stays far away today. Alexi immediately trying to go around the outside of Dorado here. Harrison up into 4th, Dorado down to 3rd, Alexi up into 2nd, though this fight is not over. Apex running away in the distance. That is a horrible camera angle. Let's get on board with Dorado. Alexi will have the outside, will try and hold it in. Dorado still there, but Alexi finally gets ahead. Now, when is this rain coming? That is the big question. Alexi crucially getting up into 2nd. This will hinder Dorado's race. Bayless up into 7th from 12th already. We'll have to try and clear some of these cars quickly. Someone's back, so that's a Rosenquist. Wing looks okay. Not sure if there's another car involved in that. Now, let's see. What can Bayless do here in Brazil? We'll have to get a move on. Needs to outscore Apex by 8 points. Even if Apex is 2nd, Bayless could... Even if Apex is 2nd, Bayless could win with the win in the fastest lap. We'll have to get through this gaggle of cars quickly before it becomes a DRS train. We'll be looking to get Psycho into turn 1, I would think. Apex purple, 14.9 to be expected. Psycho and Kali looking to fight. Bayless running slightly higher downforce than some of these other cars, I would say. Though Psycho struggles to track through turn 2. This will let Bayless get a good run. Contact between the pair. Not good, not what Bayless wants. Bayless needs to try and make moves quickly. We'll have the inside for turn 4. Sends up the inside up into 6th. Is hunting all the points possible for this championship. And hoping that rain stays away until after Apex is boxed. Bayless, though, crucially the lead Williams here, so will have pit priority. Predicted race strategy is there, so Softs may be looking to do about 7 to 14 laps on, I would say. Oh, something's happened up there. Both the AlphaTauris may be getting together, both of them off the track. Bayless up to 4th. Dorado may be in more trouble than he was expecting to be in. Maybe he comes up with Carly, I'm not sure what's happened there, but Bayliss now looking to hunt down the McLaren. This is not what Apex wants to see. Bayliss, I think, is shrinking the gap. Apex purple with a 111, Alexi purple with a 110. Bayliss does not go purple, nor does Harrison. DRS gets enabled. So let's see what Bayliss can do. Does not have to worry about a DRS train, though. Apex will have to worry about Alexi. They may be fighting for the lead in a second. This championship is most certainly not over for either driver, but Bayliss, if he keeps up this form, could be tying it up later today. We'll need to get past Harrison then quickly, though. You can just see the Williams getting ever closer. Half a second now as we go through the middle sector. Roughly the same gap between first and second. Bayliss, though, getting closer to Harrison. 3.5 tenths now. Loses the rear end a little bit though on the traction. Might be trying to size something up into turn 1, I would say. Now let's see what happens between Alexi and Apex. Alexi should have DRS this time round. Was half thinking at the 6 point. Has the DRS. Now what will happen with Apex? Takes to the outside immediately. Alexi purple, 110.6. They're going to be fighting though. Alexi's already used up the battery. Apex holds on for the moment, but Alexi has the inside for turn 2. Bayliss gets past Harrison in the background. Alexi round the outside, may have the DRS down into turn 4. There's not. Apex as it pulls to the inside. Bayliss on the scene now. Apex gets back past Alexi. Alexi has to look up the inside, but won't be able to get anything done. Bayliss only 2.5 seconds back, looking to close. Seems to have the pace over the Alfa Romeo. This fight is most certainly not done. Bayliss still missing that crucial best lap, and will have to set it in one of the earlier stages of this race as Sass is backwards in the first sector. Bayliss needs that best lap, and he will need it now before that rain comes. If Bayliss can't tie up that best lap, he's going to need Apex to be in third, even if he wins. So, let's see what happens here in Brazil. 1.5 seconds now. Alexi close to Apex once again. Half a second separate. DRS gets open, though. Alexi, no ERS to use. Plays into Apex's hands a little bit. Won't be close enough to make a move into turn 1. We'll have a look, though. Maybe waiting for turn 4 to do something as Bayliss gets ever closer. 1.7 now. DRS again, 4.25 tenths separate our top 2. Alexi just can't get close enough to make a move. Has burnt through the RS quicker than he should have. Half a 4 tenths now separate her from the leader. Back up to 5 tenths between them both. Bayliss, though, just getting ever closer to her, and by extension, closer to Apex. Apex, we'll see what's happening, won't be liking it, though. Bayliss clearing DRS on Harrison. Alexi, though, getting ready to start to move on Apex. She's closer than ever before. It's going to get it done early. Dips into the penalty to get it done. We'll be side by side with him into turn 1. Who will yield here in Brazil? Not good for Apex to start. Alexi gets past with a beautiful move from the Haas driver. Though Apex will have an attempt to get back through on her. Has the DRS running into turn 4. Apex just blows past. Bayliss maybe burning out his tyres, struggling to get any closer than this. Both drivers pushing track limits to the absolute maximum as they fight for this lead. Bayliss, though, is close enough but needs a fastest lap soon. Fastest lap at the moment goes to Alexi with a 10.6. Bayliss has had a faster lap than Apex, but it's still half a second slower than Alexi. .3 now between Bayliss and Alexi. Bayliss getting closer to this fight as Apex runs off, maybe burning out those soft tyres a little bit too much in this early stage. Alexi will know to keep behind at the DRS line to take the DRS, but doesn't. Goes ahead of Apex, so Apex gets DRS into turn 1. But all this squabbling has brought Bayliss closer. Bayliss with the DRS now, we'll close up to this lead fight. Let's see what happens between the Alfa Romeo and the Haas. Alexi with a late look in, she's not quite going to have enough space there, but still keeps within 2/10 of the Alfa Romeo. We'll have the DRS as Stas goes off and retires. Full safety car is deployed just as things hot up for the lead here in Brazil. Horrendous timing from the Aston Martin, but Apex will be quite happy with that. Now, here's the question. What are we going to see in pit dynamics here? Are we going to see Apex hold on? Hello. Slight controller malfunction there. Now, as I was saying, what are we going to see Apex do under this safety car? Come in for mediums or stay on the soft and try and hold it? Apex stays out, banking on that rain coming soon. It is starting to cloud over. If I was Rosenquist, I would have gambled onto the Inter, but maybe it's too early. If I was Rosenquist, I would have come in for the Inter. We'll see what happens though. It's not raining just yet. Leaders are now with the safety car. Curly onto hard. Maybe banking that that rain doesn't come. We're going to have to see what happens here. Pixel's also in for the hard. So a couple of these drivers banking on no rain. Rosenquist stays out on the soft, banking on rain soon. So quite a few split strategies. Some think there's rain coming. Some think it'll remain dry. But what's certain is, it will cloud over. Or it is clouding over, I should say. So we may be looking at rain. Apex, though, given an advantage on the safety car restart as long as he gets it done properly, will be able to run away a little bit more. Harrison leaving a bit of a gap. We should be in next time around, I would say, unless we see any late takers for pit stops, but we shouldn't do. We are all clear on penalties for the moment. No one up here comes into the pit lane. Apex indicating you might be. Bayless stays out. Seems to be everyone staying out here in the main pack. Just whether Pixels or Rosenquist will opt for a pit stop. Pixels will stay out, as will Rosenquist. Now it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not this rain actually comes, and if it does come, what kind of dynamic it plays into. Carly and Pixels clearly expecting that it won't, aiming to go to the end of this race. So we could see something interesting happen. So, Rosenquist will catch up with the pack here. Now, when is it going to rain? It's got to be soon, surely, looking at that sky. It's getting cloudy, and there have been whispers of rain this whole time. So, let's see. Bayless, I have a feeling, has favoured the wet setup going by that car's straight line speed. But we can only wait and watch. Safety car will be in this lap. Apex backing that field up to a crawl. Weepier takes a penalty for a 5-second penalty for a collision with Unku, clearly running into the back of that Williams. Though it seems to still have So missing in the right side end plate. Weepy going alongside Unku, that looks like. Weepy also missing an end plate, so something has gone on there. Ooh, Verstappen Roar is going to come into play here as Bayliss is almost onside Alexi. Apex has gone for it though. Bayliss will need to get the move done quickly into turn 1. Aiden Eldorado did start in second, and it's that rain. It's raining here in Brazil. Horrendous timing on the safety car restart. Weepy down to 11th, 12th now. It is raining here in Brazil on the safety car restart. Can do, Aiden. Bayliss will look up the inside of Alexi immediately, looking to get past, wants to get by as quickly as possible, fight to get up to Apex. Needs that fastest lap now if he wants to try and tie this up. But it's not going to happen. Once again, we are graced with rain here in Brazil. 1.5 to Apex now. Now, who will be the first gambler onto the intermediates? Could be Weepia, could be Unku. Weepia with a penalty serve, Unku with a wing that may need changing. That right side end plate is missing. Dorado and Psycho. Psycho and Carl even having a very good fight side by side as they run into turn 1. No early gamblers on the pit lane just yet. Psycho getting past Dorado as well there. It's a whole gaggle of cars into turn 1. Dorado gets back ahead of Psycho. Curly will be looking to get past 2. The F-Tire is going to have to work together to defeat the Red Bull. Couple cars in the pit lane down there. Rosenquist one of them. Pixels will be 1-2, as is Kara. So a couple of cars banking early might be too soon, you know. But back to this Red Bull AlphaTauri fight. The rain definitely becoming a factor. Psycho maybe holding up Curly a little bit. It's getting slick. Dorado spinning up the rear tyres as Bayliss starts to close on an Apex. Now, which one of these two is going to gamble for it first? It's not ready yet. Might need another lap. So, Curly on the back of Psycho. Curly will try and use momentum off the corner to get past Psycho. Has the outside, keeps the car in. DRS is enabled. AlphaTauris might be side by side now as Alexi dives in for an early stop and maybe doing some science for Apex. It's Curly Dorado ahead of Psycho, but this fight is not over yet between them. Contact between Psycho and Dorado. They've swapped places, the AlphaTauris have. Weepia 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Unku also in for Inters. Slowly seeing the field pick up more and more of these tyres, but it's not quite ready. Bayliss now on the back of Apex nearly. Only 6 cars choosing to gamble. Rosenquist jumps up to the front of the cars that have boxed all aside from Alexi. So maybe it is getting wetter. Yeah, absolutely. We saw a couple of drivers box under that safety car for hards. Not 100% sure why. Maybe banking that the rain wouldn't come, but here it is. Now, will any of the top 2 choose to gamble and box? So be Apex and Bayliss. They could be side by side if they fight, but someone's got a box. Surely they want to avoid the battle, try and take the advantage. Both cars have another lap. Just waiting until the Inters are absolutely ready here. Bayliss on the inside of Apex. Did they touch? I'm not sure. Apex, they will have the DRS and will have a slightly better line through turn 3 than Bayliss. Will be the run into turn 4. Neither car with the DRS. No, Apex does have DRS even. Will look to the inside. Bayliss, they will try and fend it round the outside. Gets it all crossed up in the car, but still side by side. Keeps ahead though. Apex unable to win the championship tonight, but Bayliss could. Only needs to outscore Apex by 8 points here. And right now it's only by 7, but there is rain to come. But if Bayliss wants to win the title tonight, he would need to win and have a best lap if Apex was where he is now in second. So for Bayliss to tie this up tonight, Apex is going to have to fall off that podium, and it could be one of those Inter runners that do it. Alexi gaining on Dorado. It could be time for Inters here. Gap has closed by 2/10 already. Bayless driving away from Apex. Might be able to come in this time. Stays out, as does Apex. Both the leaders clearly reckoning that the track isn't quite ready, but Alexi gaining on Dorado by quite a lot now. It is 100% time for Inters. Aiden in chat agrees. Psycho and Dorado. Next car's in. Dorado speeds. Alexi flying towards Dorado. This could be Alexi out in the lead here. Alexi will easily get the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri, though will be looking to try and resume her place in third. Ooh, I don't know what that gap to the leader is, but it can't be far. Only 21 seconds. I don't know how much you're losing your pit stop here, but it can't be much over that. It is absolutely interesting now. Look at how wet that track is as your leaders come through. Psycho being put onto the hards by his pit crew. Not hugely ideal. It is certainly a wet track. Psycho being swamped by both the AlphaTauris, but Dorado losing the right side of that end plate. Will try and hold around the outside, but might have trouble. Keeps the head of Dorado, so Dorado maybe struggling with the warm-up, maybe struggling with that damage ring, but up to the front. Bayless surely having to box. Goes for another lap. Apex in. Has Bayless just thrown this title away? Apex will come in. Carly stays out though. Harrison in. So the top two still think it's Slicks. I can't say I agree with the call. I'd expect to see DRS disabled sometime around now. But we will see. The test is, does Alexi get past Apex? And the answer is it's going to be close. Both cars into turn one at the same time. I think Apex is just about held position on the Haas. Though we'll struggle with that tight race corner. DRS disabled. Apex has timed this perfectly. Will be fighting with Alexi though. Bayless and Carly both got to get the car in this lap for Inters, or it is really over. Bayless though, maybe hoping that the one lap pressure Inters will do something, maybe hoping for a safety car. Psycho gets in to Psycho gets in for a new set of tyres, Dorado in for a new wing. What a disaster here for Bayless. Seems to have been about 18 seconds of deficit over a pit stop. So as it stands, Bayless is going to be out behind Apex. Bayless finally brings him into pit lane, but is it too little too late as he speeds? It's all coming undone for the Williams here. We'll have a margin going into Austria for the Brawl round, but it's not much. It's a good stop, but it's not enough. Apex and Alexi already here, but Curly continues on as these two fight. Bayless won't be as far back as we thought, but he's still not going to be where he needs to be as Apex fights his way past the Haas. There is Bayless in the background, but he's fallen a long way back from this fight. Is going to need a miracle as Apex gets around the outside of Alexi. What is Curly cooking? Maybe trying to see if he can hang on till the end, hoping the track doesn't get any worse. But at this point, with how much the gap is falling, it's not looking good. Bayless getting closer to Alexi already, but with a 5-second penalty, it's not looking good. We'll need some kind of safety car so we can try and clear that penalty, I would say. Though maybe hoping a wet setup he's loaded will do him dividends. Second now, between third and fourth. Curly stays out for another lap. He's losing 3 seconds a lap here at best. As it stands, he might end up finishing 6th or 7th, but I aspire the gamble. Would have realised that by now he's just got to commit as Alexi and Bayless will be fighting. Bayless with no DRS to use is going to have to try and get past the Haas. The Haas loses the rear end. Bayless gets past and has better pace than the Alfa Romeo, I would say. So this isn't over, but Bayless has got a lot of work to do. Let's see how much he can close on the Alfa Romeo by. has closed by 1/10.5 already on the Haas. Has a little bit of a rear end shake. 8/10 split them now. 7.25. Bayliss closing a lot. Has so much more pace than the Alfa Romeo. Has gained a second already. If Bayliss is able to get ahead, it could still be his title. We'll need to get past Carly. We'll need to pull out a 5-second gap. But it's not impossible. Harrison spins. Doesn't hit the wall though, so shouldn't be a safety car as Bayliss gets past Apex convincingly before turn 1. Now, unless Apex can fight it, Bayliss needs to pull out a 5-second gap and clear the AlphaTauri. Carly is going to become a wild card in the fight for this championship. Bayliss is going to need to absolutely drive away from that Alfa Romeo, but the Alfa Romeo closing. Can't get it done into turn 4 though. Bayliss will be looking to use traction, already pulling a gap on the Alfa Romeo, but can he pull a big enough gap? It's going to be close. Bayliss knows he could tie up the title tonight. Just needs to pull 5 seconds on the Alfa Romeo. But what's going to happen with the AlphaTauri? It's going to be a struggle. We'll need to go for an ambitious dive bomb. Goes for it. Gets it done convincingly. Apex unable to follow through. Contact with the AlphaTauri will send him even further back. It is looking very close here. Apex will be stuck behind the AlphaTauri for yet another corner. We'll have to use the exit traction to get by. Bayliss, 1.5 seconds up the road already in a lap. 1.6 now. Bayliss will need to run away, pull out the 5-second gap. Apex will need to penalty proof. What can the Williams driver do? Could we see a new champion be crowned in 6 laps' time? Rosenquist retires. Full safety car gets brought out. It's going to change the scope of the race once again. Bayliss may be looking to come into the pit lane to change off those intermediate tyres. Will fall down to 4th though, and then it will become a straight race with Apex. Now, what will Bayliss do? Will he clear the penalty, or will he think, right, I can pull out 1.6 seconds lap on Apex. I could get past here. Now, what will Bayliss do? Will he come in to serve the penalty, or will he stay out and hope he can pull a big enough gap? Bayliss pulling out 1.6 a lap on the Apex Miata. Will he come into the pit lane? He will. Comes in for a fresh set of intermediates. This race is not over yet. Make sure he doesn't speed. Curly will be in for Inters 2. Apex will inherit the lead. There'll be another position for Bayliss to not lose. Alexi may be the only car that gets past here. Bayliss comes in to serve the 5-second penalty. Will be in for a fresh set of wets. What? What are they cooking? Bayliss and Curly in for softs. What is being cooked here in Brazil? Is this rain going away? What is going on here? Weepy gets a 5-second speeding in the pit lane. Multiple drivers in for softs. This rain must be clearing up. Bayliss, possibly with the strategy masterstroke here, hoping that rain will clear up by the time this safety car goes in. What is going on here? That rain is definitely easing. We could see a dry end to the race here in Brazil. This is an FVC2 first, I'll give it that. The rain is easing, but will it have eased enough come the end of this race for Bayliss to be able to get it done? What does Apex do? Apex with the safety car. Will we see multiple drivers in for softs now? Track is evidently drying. Apex comes in. Right, it stopped raining. Apex in for softs. This is perfect for Bayless. Apex 5 seconds in just a lap. This title has dramatically swung the complete other way. Twice. What is going on here? It's rain has stopped, but will it clear up enough? Dorado drive through, speeding under safety car. What is going on? Kara gambles out in the inter, hoping they become inter slicks. What is going on here in FVC2? It's going to be Bayless versus Carly for the win. Bayless will be fighting to take a championship. This is going to be spicy. Apex with a dry setup, whereas Bayless with a wet setup. This could be interesting. If Bayless wants to wrap up this championship, he is A, going to have to win the race, B, get the fastest lap as we go in this time. But with Apex's 5 second, Bayless could win. If Apex is third or worse, he would win it even without the best lap. Let's see what happens here. Curly will lead us on the restart. Kara, the only car left on intermediates. Alexi's going to have to stick with Apex and hope that she can take third. That is what Bayless is hoping for. Hope that Alexi can get ahead of Apex. Curly goes. Kara into the pit lane. This title fight is back on. Apex immediately goes for the move on Bayless. Side by side through turn 2. Apex yields. This will be good for Alexi to get past. What can Alexi do into turn 4? Bayless will need this if he wants to take the title. All cars now on the soft tyre. Bayless will be looking to get past Carly as quickly as possible without leaving the door open for Apex to do the same. Apex on the back of that Williams. Contact into the braking zone. Apex got to back off. Can't take a bigger penalty. As it stands, Bayless is champion. That would be Apex down to 6th with 8 points. Bayless scoring 18. So Bayless would win by 2. Bayless getting closer to Carly though. Might be able to get something done into turn 1. He's going to have to try maybe them to yeet the batteries. Apex comes in from a mile away. Goes wide. That will let the hearts come through. It's all coming undone for Apex here. Bayless will continue to try and drive away, looking to wrap up this title around early. Will be on the back of Carly. Will look to the inside into turn 1. Only half a tenth. They're alongside. Carly will fight it. Wants to take his first win this season as Bayless gets past. As it stands, this is Bayless's title. Though Carly not giving up the fight. Bayless will need to be careful. Can't risk the title. Carly's already out of the RS though. Bayless round the outside convincingly at turn 4. It's Bayless's title provisionally. 25 points scored against 12 fulfills the 8-point gap. Apex with a huge lunge on the inside of Alexi there is getting desperate. As it stands, it's still Bayless's title. Apex not only in third, but has a 5-second penalty that will drop him all the way behind Unku. Bayless just needs to keep it on the road, keep it in the lead. Could take the best lap, but it's not worth the risk, I say. Fastest lap currently goes to Alexi. Can Bayless beat that lap? Doesn't just yet. DRS gets enabled. Apex and Kelly will be fighting, but as it stands, it's still Bayless's title. Apex will be fighting with all of his might, trying to pull 5 seconds, but it's just not going to happen. All Bayless has to do is win this race, and it is his title. As it stands, Bayliss will win it on track even without this penalty. Now let's see what occurs here. 1.5 laps left. Bayliss convincingly leads. Apex with a late lunge on Curly. Curly will be willing to fight back for second here. All 4 cars could take second off Apex here. All 4 cars very well might. All 3 cars even. Haas versus AlphaTauri behind. They can't fight for long. They need to all stay within 5 seconds of Apex, especially the lead of the 3. Apex closing on Bayliss, but even if he got by, it wouldn't be enough. He's got 3 cars behind, will still fall down to 6th with that penalty. Carly and Alexei make contact. That almost cost Bayliss the championship, but Harrison would still be there to inherit 3rd. Inherit 2nd even. What can Alexei do? Will Alexei be able to get back past Apex, try and let Bayliss take the championship on track? Or will she just sit behind? Apex pushing, but no matter what he does now, it won't be enough. Not without Bayliss falling into trouble. It has been a wild race here in Brazil, and it is the end to a wild championship fight. Bayliss inches away from wrapping it up. Alexei will be looking to take second off Apex on track, but won't need to push that much. It will be Bayliss who comes through into the 3rd sector, will come around the final corner and wins the FVC2 Season 4 Championship. Beats Apex, who crosses second, but with an unserved penalty will fall down to 6th, behind just Unku. It's Alexei second on the podium, Carly 3rd after a very opportunistic strategy call, Harrison 4th, Apex 5th, Apex 6th, your title rival. Psycho will be 7th, Kara looks set to come home in 8th. And it has been a beautiful title fight this season that ends in very, very dramatic fashion. Pixels will come home in 9th to pick up points for Aston Martin. It's been a good season for them so far with 1 round left in Austria. From there, it will be Weepier for Alpine in 10th, and Dorado, after a good showing in qualifying, will be the last of the running cars in 11th. Not a great time here in the race, but there is still 1 more for redemption. Bayliss takes driver of the day, not surprised. 12th to 1st here in Brazil with a dry to wet to dry thriller, and stands atop the podium, newly crowned FVC2 champion. Carly alongside to his right with... I've forgotten who was 3rd already. Sorry, Alexei on his right with Carly to his left in 3rd. Bayliss absolutely rinsing Apex there at the end when it mattered most. Wraps up his championship around early. It has been a fantastic fight, and I'm very happy to have witnessed it all. Bayliss wins here in Brazil, takes home 25 points, is joined on the podium by FV Alexei. She took the best lap by just over a 10th, picking up 19 points for Haas, and it's Carly that joins them both on the 3rd step of that podium. 4th down went to Harrison, Unku, your title rival Apex, Psycho, Kara, Pixels, and Weepier in 10th. Dorado was the last to run the cars in 11th, with 12th and 13th going to Rosenquist and Sass, respectively, after their unfortunate DNFs. This has been the 5th round of the 4th season in FVC2. We have just newly crowned a champion. And it's also a Williams Teams Championship. Just Unku and ERL Bayliss take 2 championships in 1 night. We will see you next week for what is bound to be an even more chaotic race in Austria. The new Brawl format will be tested. Sit tight, this is going to be one hell of a season finale.